Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's take a look outside our weather window on this Monday. And boy, it was a lot smokier this morning, and it did slowly get better throughout our afternoon, although our neighbors up in Kashmir and the Upper Valley stayed in the unhealthy category throughout the day. We got to about 148 in Wenatchee, but as I said, it did get a little bit better, but it's going to stick around, folks, and mainly for right here in this area. Chelan County, that includes Plain, Leavenworth, and Wenatchee. We are going to continue to see this haze tonight and once again tomorrow. It's going to get hot, though. Hot for this time of year. All of us will be flirting with record highs as we get you into Tuesday. Notice Wenatchee, we expect about 87, 88 is our record. And Omak, how about that? 90 tomorrow, and that would be a new record for you. We're going to talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. The Moses Lake man accused of killing his wife and leaving her body in a Lincoln County farm field was arrested Friday at a small highway borough 35 miles southeast of Pittsburgh. A 41-year-old Moses Lake area man suffered gunshot wounds to his leg yesterday morning after two intruders broke into his home. 4 people were hospitalized following an accident involving 2 cars and 2 motorcycles Saturday afternoon in the Tumwater Canyon. And an investigation by Ephrata police has cleared a Grant County Sheriff's deputy for his involvement in an August 6th altercation. But first, our top story tonight, a 22-year-old Kashmir man was shot dead Friday in the heart of that city's downtown. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies say Gustavo Urbina Sotelo was pronounced dead at Central Washington Hospital after gunfire broke out about 11 p.m. in the 100 block of Applets Way. That's just outside the local branch of Kashmir Valley Bank. 24-year-old Jesus Torres Lucataro allegedly confessed to shooting Urbina 3 times with a handgun after Urbina confronted Torres and others in the bank parking lot with a baseball bat. Also arrested was the suspect's brother, 22-year-old Guillermo Torres Lucataro, for allegedly driving away from the scene after that shooting. The 2 were arrested by emergency response teams early Saturday at their home on Weather End Drive in Kashmir. Neither has been charged, although they remained in custody today at the Chelan County Regional Justice Center. Police said the incident appeared to involve a gang rivalry. The case remains under investigation. The Moses Lake man accused of killing his wife and leaving her body in a Lincoln County farm field was arrested Friday in a small highway borough 35 miles southeast of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. U.S. Marshals located Charles Bergman, 54 years old, in tiny New Scranton, Pennsylvania, one day after he was charged by warrant in the murder of his wife, 53-year-old Teresa Bergman. The Bergmans were reported missing by family members Monday after Charles Bergman failed to return with his wife after picking her up at the Spokane airport. On Thursday afternoon, a farmer located the body of Teresa Bergman in a rural location north of the town of Sprague. A nationwide arrest warrant for Charles Bergman followed. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office says he remains jailed in Pennsylvania on suspicion of first-degree premeditated murder and will await extradition to Washington. Meanwhile, a 41-year-old Moses Lake area man suffered gunshot wounds to his leg yesterday morning after 2 intruders broke into his home. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said about 6 a.m., occupants of the home in the 12,000 block of Road 4 Northeast reported that 2 men had entered their home, shot the homeowner, and then stole several rifles and pistols before fleeing. The Sheriff's Office said the victim was treated at Samaritan Health Care for the wounds and then released. Nobody else was injured. Anyone with information on the incident is asked to call the Sheriff's Office at 509-762-1160. 4 people were hospitalized following an accident involving 2 cars and 2 motorcycles Saturday afternoon in the Tumwater Canyon. According to the Washington State Patrol, just before 4:30, a 2020 Chevy Equinox was traveling eastbound near the Alps Candy Store when the driver failed to negotiate a curve, crossed the center line, and struck a westbound Toyota. Two motorcycles following the Equinox subsequently struck the Toyota. A passenger on one of those motorcycles, 50-year-old Aurora E. Manriquez, was airlifted to Central Washington Hospital with serious injuries. The operator of the motorcycle Manriquez was riding on, and the two occupants of the second motorcycle were transported to area hospitals by ambulance. The driver of that Equinox, 72-year-old Theodore L. Kenny of Eniat, was cited for crossing the center line. An investigation by Ephrata police has cleared a Grant County Sheriff's deputy for his involvement in an August 6th altercation after the deputy's stepdaughter was allegedly inappropriately touched by another man. The investigation by the Ephrata Police Department recommended sexual assault charges be brought against the unidentified man. The report on the incident indicated the deputy confronted the man about the alleged assault at a home in the 10,000 block of Dodson Road Northwest, but there was no physical contact. The investigative report has been turned over to the Grant County Prosecutor's Office for possible charges. When we come back, with cooler weather, assessments of Chelan County's fire danger are beginning to creep downward. Even as unplanned wildfires continue to burn in the region, the State Department of Fish and Wildlife plans a set of controlled burns this fall to help offset future fires. East Wenatchee Assistant Police Chief Eric Hampton this month became the department's first employee to graduate from the FBI National Academy. And Lake Wenatchee Fire and Rescue used the smoky skies yesterday to offer a demonstration of its thermal-capable drone. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Right now, it costs $100 to fill this up and $1,000 to fill this up. We're all feeling it. Families and businesses getting squeezed because of broken supply chains and corporate greed. I'm Congresswoman Kim Schreier, and I'm leading the fight to suspend the federal gas tax to get prices down. I'm holding big oil accountable so they stop ripping us off. I approve this message, and I'll keep fighting to bring down gas prices for you.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Welcome back. In another news, with cooler weather, assessments of Chelan County's fire danger are beginning to creep downward. Late last week, the Chelan County Fire Marshal's office lowered the fire risk rating from very high in most of the county to simply high. Chelan County commissioners made the move official with a resolution passed this morning. Fire Marshal Stephen Rinaldi says while risks are declining, the county will keep its Stage 2 restrictions in place to limit activity and travel in fire-prone areas.
With regards to the travel restrictions, we're going to maintain Stage 2 so that we stay in lockstep with our state and federal partners for this coming week. Tomorrow we'll have another meeting and we'll review it, and we anticipate that we will start to lower the fire danger rating again potentially, and then also we should start to back off of the restrictions, but we're going to maintain them as long as our partners are as well.
Well, speaking of fires, even as unplanned wildfires continue to burn in the region, the State Department of Fish and Wildlife plans a set of controlled burns this fall to help offset future fires. About 500 acres in the Clockham Wildlife Area in southern Chelan County are designated for fire treatment. The controlled fires would be carried out starting in October as long as weather permits and the risk of fire spread is minimal. Additional burns on fish and wildlife lands could be scheduled beyond that, depending on weather conditions. Well, East Wenatchee Assistant Police Chief Eric Hampton this month became the department's first employee to graduate from the FBI National Academy that's in Quantico, Virginia. Hampton was one of 283 graduates from the academy, which teaches law enforcement leadership and includes physical fitness training. Hampton was hired by the department in February 2021 after spending 22 years with the Yakima Police Department. In other news, Lake Wenatchee Fire and Rescue used the Smoky Skies yesterday to offer a demonstration of its thermal-capable drone. The fire district said during heavy inversion, seeing fire activity becomes nearly impossible. But thanks to the Eagle 91 drone's thermal sensors, they are able to identify spot fires for suppression. Yesterday's demonstration showed areas of the White River fire burning above Lake Wenatchee. The drone was purchased through a grant provided by Burlington Northern Railroad, and the fire district has 3 licensed drone pilots. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's features story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Football, school, cooler temps. It's almost fall. And what better way to celebrate than with the Fall Kickoff Savings Event at Click It RV. We've got to make room for new inventory, which means you'll save up to 30% off with no money down, 90 days to first payment, and lifetime warranties. With the best floor plans and many options under $40,000, there's never been a better time to buy. Visit us today on Frontage Road off I-90 in Moses Lake or go to clickitrv.com.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's features story, last winter's census found 113 people living without shelter in the Wenatchee Valley, about 48% of whom live in their vehicles. Last week, the Wenatchee City Council approved a suite of spending, the bulk of which would help establish 2 safe parking areas for those cars and RVs at the Wenatchee Rescue Mission. Those homeless residents would also be introduced to a spectrum of social services. The council approved the more than $2 million spending proposal unanimously on Thursday.
In talking with the rescue mission on this, we asked them what it would take if they did these 2 safe park facilities to also do low barrier shelter units on their site at the same time. They said that with the staffing that they would have for the safe park system, it would also accommodate the shelter units, and the only cost they would have to have 45 low barrier shelter units, the pallet shelter units that you've previously seen, would be to spend $100,000 on a restroom upgrade to make it ADA, and then potentially some additional outhouses if needed. So really, the benefit of having the Phase 1 safe park there, and then also the individual shelter units, is because it's a campus, we're getting a big savings operating it all in one location. The anticipated opening date for the Phase 1 safe park is yesterday. They're already starting to locate folks there. And their outreach person who's already been hired has been contacting all the RV owners in the area on the streets and is sequentially placing them. 95% of the RV owners on the streets want to locate here. There's a maximum capacity of 17, so at such time we're able to open the second site. We have a lot of folks interested in that second site as well.
Thank you to staff for getting on it right away. We had folks out there early last week. All of our public works staff got that up and operating, and there's some campers there now. Fences are up, so it looks good, and actively looking for a second spot. I think it's going to be needed. It's unclear that it's going to be needed, but I think it doesn't take long with your eyes to figure out that there's going to need to be another location somewhere in the valley. So anxious to get all of this stuff started.
This is so important for each community to establish something, because it is going to save a life. It will, you know, just to have that outreach to go somewhere. And it's the right step Wenatchee's doing.
Puts them in touch with those people who can offer them the help the most. But I think it's also going to make our school districts or school zones a little safer. I know there's been a lot of citizens who've come to us and been very concerned about that. So I think this is a win-win for everybody, citizens as well as homeless.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a great weekend. It was all great except the smoke and haze. You could smell it out there on Saturday and Sunday, and we had plenty of it today, especially as we're looking up to the upper valley. Cashmere, Leavenworth, Plain area, very bad air today, unhealthy air. We were unhealthy for sensitive groups here in the Wenatchee area, and we did manage to get to 82 degrees today, and that's 10 degrees above where we should be for this time of year at 72. Our record high, 86 degrees, and that was set in 2003. 52 this morning, 49 as normal, and our record low, 37. That was set in 1972. Sunrise is 6:53, and it sets tonight at 6:50. Let's take a look at what we can expect as we get you into Tuesday. It's going to look and feel more like summer. I know we're in early fall right now, but boy, do we ever have summer bleeding over into our early fall. Almost 90 for Moses Lake tomorrow, Ephrata 89, 88 in Quincy, 87 here in Wenatchee. We could see lots of record highs around the area tomorrow. Even Omak will see a high tomorrow, almost 90 degrees. That's right, high pressure is the reason why. Big ridge up and over the Pacific Northwest, and it's even being aided by this area of low pressure, which dragging some warmer Pacific air our direction. Boy, lots of clear skies out there and mild overnight tonight with lows around 60. Tomorrow, hazy sunshine once again. It will be warmer as we just talked about, with highs generally between about 80 and 90 all over eastern Washington. For Wednesday, a little bit of morning haze, and then this area of high pressure will begin moving waves of moisture our way. I think we could catch a shower maybe late in the day on Wednesday. It will be cooler, high temperatures in the upper 70s, even though that is still way over where we should be for this time of year. And then for Thursday, maybe a morning shower, giving way to partly cloudy skies in the afternoon. High pressure building back up over the Pacific Northwest on Thursday. It's going to be our coolest day, though, with highs only in the low 70s before we just warm right back up on Friday. Seasonal temperatures, we will see highs on Friday somewhere into the mid 70s. And then I'm telling you, this weekend, folks, it is going to be beautiful. The first day of October is Saturday. Saturday, and we're talking highs in the mid-70s with sunshine all over Washington State. There's another area of low pressure that's kind of pushing inland, but it won't really do so this weekend. Sunday is going to be another nice one too, sunny and mild. And as we end the weekend, highs again, just beautiful into the mid-70s. Let's take a look now at that 7-day forecast. 60 overnight tonight, possibly record temperatures tomorrow. Our record is 88. We'll keep our eye on that. Maybe some late showers Wednesday and maybe a morning shower on Thursday. Thursday will be our coolest day too at 71 degrees. And then that beautiful Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with high temperatures in the mid-70s. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Monday to you. We'll start a recap of the weekend in sports where it began with high school football on Friday night. It was Wenatchee winning and taking advantage of 5 turnovers, by the way, to win its first Big Line league victory that counts since October 2019. A 17-8 decision over Eisenhower. The Cadets got the ball first, but it was all Panthers from there. Wenatchee recovered a fumble in the end zone for a touchdown. Also, Jackson Bishop hit Rivers Cook on a 41-yard touchdown pass. That was the Panthers' other score. They get a field goal in the meantime, and Wenatchee goes on for the win. Other Big Nine play on Friday night. Luke Gale passed for 3 touchdowns, ran for another as Eastmont shut out Davis 41-0. Brock Clark found Joel Middleton on 2 touchdown connections as Moses Lake came from behind to beat Central Valley 25-22. Non-league action for the Caribou Trail League. Toppenish handed Cashmere its first loss of the season, 34-19. Quincy quieted Brewster 33-6. Omak edged Deer Park 26-21. Chelan blasted Oroville 55-13. And Cascade was an unfriendly host to Granite Falls, winning in Peshastin 63-0. B-League football on the gridiron on Friday. Manson handled Highland 48-13. Waterville Mansfield beat up Bridgeport 66-0. Liberty Bell submitted Concrete 54-12. Lake Roosevelt got by Liberty Bell 18-7. Okanagan jilted Jenkins 34-7. On Saturday, it was Tillamook stealing Tenaskeet's cheese, if you will, 62-14. And he had quieted Quilcene 44-18. Seawack play East Valley came from behind to beat Ephrata 29-28. Ellensburg shut out Grandview 39-0. Othello slaughtered Sela 70-7. Prosser ambushed Aberdeen Saturday 52-14. We'll bring you Eastmont's homecoming game this Friday here on the NCWLIFE channel. Wildcats host Sunnyside. Join us for the pregame show coming up at 6:30. Well, the Wenatchee Wild opened the regular season of its BCHL schedule on Friday on the road at Surrey. Eagles would win the game in a shootout 5-4. Wild got goals from Travis Bonnet, Cade Littler, Christian Kim, and Michael Valdez. Wenatchee plays at West Kelowna this coming Friday at 7 o'clock. On the Les Schwab Prep girls soccer scoreboard from Saturday, Wenatchee blanked Davis 6-0. West Valley doubled up Moses Lake 6-3. Quincy blasted Lake Roosevelt 10-0. East Valley edged Ephrata. Omak beat Bridgeport. Davenport blanked Brewster, and it was Okanagan over Unalaska 5-0. We'll be out at Lee Bofdell Field of the Apple Bowl Saturday afternoon as Wenatchee hosts Moses Lake in girls soccer. Join Sebastian Moraga for the action. That begins at 1 o'clock here. Congratulations to the Brewster volleyball team. The Bears claimed the championship of the 24-team Quincy Invitational over the weekend. How about that? Go Bears. College football on Saturday. Washington State squandered a 2-touchdown lead late against 15th-ranked Oregon. Fell to the Ducks in Pullman 44-41. Coach Jake Dickert says they just couldn't make the plays down the stretch.
Well, I think credit goes to Oregon. I think they played a tough 60-minute football game. I think that's where it starts, and the Cougs win together, the Cougs lose together. I think that was the message kind of there in the locker room, and it wasn't just one thing. It was them out executing us in the fourth quarter and didn't come away with the win.
Other college football, Montana State took advantage of a late-game fumble by Eastern Washington to score the go-ahead touchdown with 3:26 remaining to beat the Eagles 38-35. Michael Penix Jr. threw for 309 yards and 2 touchdowns to lead number 18 Washington over Stanford 40-22. Coach Kalen DeBoer was happy his team could put the excitement over the previous week's upset of Michigan State behind them.
Every win we celebrate, and we start Pac-12 play 1-0. Feels really good, especially coming off of the exciting week from last weekend, and I think our guys did a great job just really doing everything they could to focus. There's a lot of interviews and things. We love the attention, so I appreciate all of you. But, it's just something that's in the back of their minds, and, I thought they really turned the page early in the week and got focused on Stanford. And
turning to Sunday, the Seahawks could muster just 3 second-half points, falling to Atlanta 27-23. Seattle had a chance to late after recovering a fumble in with just over 5 minutes to go after moving the ball deep into Atlanta territory. Costly holding call and sack moved the Hawks into a 4th and 18. Geno Smith picked off as the Falcons sealed the victory. Coach Pete Carroll not happy about giving up 141 yards rushing to Cordero Patterson.
There's things that we have to do better. We can't give up the rushing yards we're giving up. It's too much. And I have a lot of respect for their run game because I have a lot of respect for the way they do it in 84. And he was I think, the difference today.
Seattle takes its 1-2 record to Detroit coming up on Sunday. Mariners wrapped up a miserable road trip with an awful loss to Kansas City on Sunday. Seattle squandered a 9-run lead, allowed 11 runs in the 6th inning, falling 13-12 yesterday to conclude a 3-7 trip. Manager Scott Service says they need a day off.
What happens over the next 10 days? We need an off day. There's no question about it. It was a rough trip for us physically, probably even more than mentally on this trip. But get the off day tomorrow, come back, and get back to playing like we play. Clean baseball, controlling the strike zone, doing the little things that allow you to close out games. And, we're very capable of doing it. We've done it all year long. Yeah, not a great road trip, certainly, I think is an understatement. And, it was just a tale of 2 games today. We came out, we did a lot of really good things offensively. Had a commanding lead in the ball game, and then, we let our guard down a little bit and didn't shut it down.
Seattle will host Texas tomorrow, 6:40. If you want to watch it, Root Sports Northwest, a place to go. The only good news for Seattle is that Baltimore was also losing in Houston over the weekend. Orioles fell to the Astros 6-3 Sunday and remain 4 games behind Seattle in the wild card chase. White Sox also stumbled against Detroit and remain 7.5 games back. Mariners' magic number to clinch the first playoff berth in 21 years remains at 10. Any combination of Seattle wins over Baltimore or losses for the Orioles equals 10, then the Mariners are in. By the way, 10 games left of the regular season. Again, that begins tomorrow at T-Mobile Park. Mariners hoping for much better luck at home. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And hold on, Mariners. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. On tomorrow's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Tony Sandoval will be joining me. He's going to be chairing a very important meeting for area veterans at the Confluence Technology Center on Thursday. What's on the agenda?
So 10 o'clock in the morning, we're available to all veterans, families, and resources to learn about the 3 pieces of the VA, whether that's compensation and pension, that is burial and cemetery, and VA healthcare. So we'd love to see you, love to feed you, and have you learn about more about the VA and resources for veterans in our area.
Tony Sandoval, my guest on tomorrow's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, guys, and that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for being with us and have a great night. News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCW Life channel.
The NCWLIFE channel offers marketing packages that help you build your brand and sell your products and services. From traditional TV ads to targeted digital campaigns, let us help you build your customer base. Call NCWLIFE channel today.
Watch Vibrant Living, brought to you by the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Find out about programs and activities for ages 50 and over, and meet amazing seniors who contribute to our community. New episodes Sundays at 1:30 p.m., replayed throughout the week on the NCWLIFE channel.